Hello, welcome to Reneal Teacher Orientation. Today we're going to explore some of the features of the Reneal computer system. This system has office programs like a word processor and spreadsheet. It also has educational programs for different subject areas like science and math. It has educational materials and books stored in it. So with the Reneal system, you can teach students how to use the computer, but you can also use the computer to teach them about different subject areas. Our goals today are to explore some of the educational material on the Reneal system that you and your students can use. We will also learn how to log in to the system with your personal teacher username and password. And I will show you how to create and save a document or spreadsheet. When you first enter your password along with your username, you will come to your desktop. And it looks like this. If you have used Microsoft Windows, this will look very familiar. You have a toolbar area, a task down here, a start button, and you have icons on your desktop. We find programs in two ways, and let me show you how that works. One way is to click on the buttons down here in your taskbar. So I want to open a document, for example. To do that, I bring my mouse down here to the blue icon, which is the word processor. I can see that when I put my mouse over the word processor, it will say it's the LibreOffice Writer word processor. And when I click once with my left mouse button, it opens the word processor program for me. Now the other way to open programs is to use the Start button, and all of the programs are here in the Start button. When I click that once with my left mouse button, I will see different categories of programs here. And let me say I want to open the word processor. Now to do that, I'll just bring my mouse down to where it says Office, and then I can move my mouse over to here where it says LibreOffice Writer, the word processor, and I select that by clicking once with my left mouse button. And just like before, that will open my word processor. There are many educational resources that have already been saved on the Reneal computer system for you, and we're going to talk about some of those. Some are found in Firefox, and I'll show you where to find Firefox. To find Firefox, we come down to this orange circle, and there's a little blue fox in there. And we click once on that icon, and that will open the Firefox web browser. If you have the internet, you can click once on this and it will go to the internet. But many schools don't have internet, so I want to show you the things that are available when you don't have internet. And one of the very nice ones is called Khan Academy. You can see it here, Khan Academy. I'm going to click once with my left mouse button on Khan Academy. You can see I have Khan Academy English or Khan Academy Kiswahili. And let me click on English. And you can see there are different subject areas here, so you can choose the economics and finance, macroeconomics, and you keep selecting the topic that you want, and then you get to where you see a small icon here, and that indicates it's a movie, and I click on that and it will start a movie, and I can click this to play the video. And so it talks about that topic in a short video. Now if you want to save a Khan Academy video, you can just start playing it, right click with your mouse button and choose Save Video As, and then you can choose where to save it. So again, you start the video, you click your right mouse button, and you can save Video As. So that's Khan Academy English. Let's go back to Khan Academy Kiswahili. And when I click that, I see many videos here. I'm mostly in math and science, but if I click one, it will start the video. And again, if you want to save it, you start the video, you right click, and you do Save Video As, and you can save it to your files. So those are the Khan Academy videos. And again, to find those, we go to Firefox, and we click once with our left mouse button, and then Khan Academy. So there are thousands of educational videos in Khan Academy. You just click through, find the topic you want, and start the video. Another thing on the Reneal system is something called Rachel. And Rachel is a free collection of educational materials saved on the Reneal server, so no internet is required to use this. There is material for many different subject areas. And again, to get to Rachel, we're going to start Firefox, and we're going to choose the Rachel educational material. So let me show you that. I open Firefox, and I'll see right below Khan Academy are the Rachel educational materials. So I click on that, and at the top I see Wikipedia. Now, most of us think of Wikipedia on the internet, but this is a Wikipedia on the server, and so when I click this, it will open it up, and there is a search window here, and I can type in a search term, and it looks a lot like the internet, even though it's not on the internet. And whenever I see the blue text, when I click on that, it will go to that topic. So that is the Wikipedia in Rachel. There's also Wikipedia for schools, which is a smaller set of material for students set up like Wikipedia. There is WikiHow that has many interesting articles about different topics on how to do things. Here are a set of lessons in Microsoft Office, and also social media, computers, email, internet, and so on. So these are a whole video series So this one, for example, on Office 2013, talks about each of the different tools in Office and has different lessons, including videos and text lessons. So that's a nice resource for the computer teachers and for teachers to learn more about different computer programs. Then there are 3 different sets of textbooks. The Sailor textbooks, and those are listed alphabetically. There are math and science textbooks. So these are very, very long textbooks, hundreds of pages of material for you and your students to learn. There are also boundless textbooks. Now the Sailor and CK through 12 textbooks can be downloaded. They are PDF files, so you can download them to your flash drive. The boundless textbooks are web-based, so you can click on different topics like this and read about it on the computer. Now let me show you how to download one of these books. For example, in the CK through 12, let me choose chemistry. Once I have that, I can click this icon up here, download, and it will let me save that file. So these are very easy to put onto your flash drive for your own study. Next in Rachel are the great books for the English teachers. These might be good resources, different stories that are on the system, some easy English storybooks. There are some health guides, a medical encyclopedia, something called Practical Action, which has different vocational topics. InfoNet BioVision also has vocational topics. There's something called Scale of the Universe. This is a very interesting program that allows you to see the size of different things in the universe. So you can use this slider bar to slide out to see bigger and bigger things, or you can slide in to see smaller and smaller things. So it's an interesting way for students to get an idea of sizes. There are phonics programs, there's a typing training program, and so on. So Rachel has many different options within it for students to learn about different topics. I also want to show a few other things that we have in Firefox. One of them is PHET, P-H-E-T, which are math and science simulations. So I'm going to go to Firefox again. You may have seen PHET already. It's right below Rachel here. And when I click PHET, I can see different simulations. And so let me choose. So let's choose chemistry. And I can see many different kinds of chemistry simulations. Here's an example of gas properties. And I can click it to start it. And I say run. And it's almost like being in a laboratory. I can use my mouse to add some gas molecules, and you can see how the pressure is going up, and I can move different things. So it's almost like you have a laboratory here on your computer. And so that's the FET program. Now I want to tell you, if you ever get lost when you're in Firefox and you don't know where you are, you can always click this little house up here, and that will take you back to the home page. So I'm going to click that and take us back to our home page. Now you can see that there are many other things in Firefox. One thing that I'm sure you'll find helpful for your students are Tanzanian national exams. So these are past papers that are on the system, and you can click and your students can help to prepare themselves for the national exam by looking at past papers. There is also a mapping of science and math topics to different Khan videos and to different books. An organization called World Possible has made notes for secondary school in different subject areas. So that can be very useful to teachers in different subject areas. There are computer training videos. These short videos teach you how to use some of the different programs that are on the system. There are programming resources for your students to learn how to do, for example, web page design with HTML and CSS, learning JavaScript. So all of these things are stored in Firefox. There are also a lot of educational programs on the system, and those are found under that Start menu button. And for example, there's one called Calcium that talks about the periodic table of the elements. I want to show you one called Marble. So let's use Marble. To open an educational program, I'm going to come down to the Start menu and click it once with my left mouse button. And I'm going to come over to where it says Education. And when I put my mouse on the word Education, it shows me the different educational programs over here. So I'm going to come down to Marble World Viewer and click it once with my left mouse button. And this will open the Marble program. Now the Marble program shows you the Earth, and you can move the Earth around with your mouse. You can search for a different place, so let me search for Arusha, and it will go to Arusha. And I can zoom in to Arusha, or I can zoom out. I'm using the zoom bar over here. I can also look at different types of views in this area. If I come down, there are some on climate, for example. So if I want to see average precipitation in December, I can click this, and it will show me precipitation levels around the world. This is precipitation in December. I can also see precipitation in July, and the legend information is on this tab over here by the map view. So that's the Marble program, and I would just encourage you to explore again under Start and Education and try these different options here for educational programs. There are many things on the Reneal system already, and for many of these in Firefox there are videos under computer training that tell you how to use these different programs. So that's just some of the educational material on the system. Now I want to talk about teacher accounts and your username and password. Teacher accounts are very special. You as a teacher have your own place on the server. You have space to put your files, and different things will get saved in your account. And you will have a password, so you're the only person that can access your account. Now your computer teacher will be making accounts for you. You can just ask them to make you an account. Your username will be made especially for you. And the username is the first letter of your given name, and then an underbar or underscore, and then your family name. So for example, if my name was John Masawi, my username would be J, which is the first letter of the given name, underscore, underline, and then the family name, Masawi. And you'll notice that all of the letters are lowercase. So they are no capital letters, all small letters. So that will be your username. And the birth date that the computer user will give you is 8 numbers. Day, day, month, month, year, 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 year. And that will be your first password. So for example, if John Masawi's birth date is April 23rd, 1960, the password is 23 for the 23rd, 04 for the month, and 1960. So just remember, the first password that you get will always be 8 numbers indicating your birth date. Now you might say that that password is not very secure because other people might know your birthday. If you want to change your password, you can do that. You can just ask your computer teacher to change your password. But please don't forget it. If you change it, don't forget it. The reason why we make the first password as the birth date is because no one will forget their birthday, hopefully. Now, as a teacher, you have your own account, but sometimes you want to share things with other teachers. So that is what the folder Teacher Shared is for. So you can click on the Teacher Shared icon on the desktop or in the Teacher Shared icon in the File Manager. So let me show you that. Here on your desktop, you can see there is an icon, Teacher Shared. When I click on that, I will see folders in different subject areas, and all teachers can access these folders. And you'll see in some of them that there are already things stored inside, especially in math and science. But if you want to share a file with another teacher, this is where you would put it. So again, no other teacher can access your account, only you. But all teachers can access Teachers Shared. We do encourage you to save things that you create yourself in the Teachers Shared folder. That way you can use them year after year and share them with your other teachers. Try to save things in folders and use meaningful file names so you can find them again easily. It's very helpful if you can be organized when you save information on the computer. Now you might ask, what if I want to share something with a student? So there's another folder that's called All Users Shared. And so you as a teacher can save files in the All Users Shared folder, and those files can be accessed by all students. So students cannot put things in All Users Shared, only teachers. But students can read them. And so let me show you where that is. Again, on your desktop, you'll see an icon for All Users Shared. And when you open that, again, you will see folders for different subject areas. Some of these have information in them already, and some are available for you to put things in them. There's also a folder called Shared, and this has some different video tutorials for some of the different programs on the system. We talked about the LibreOffice word processor, so there are many educational videos on how to use that. But there are also tutorials on how to use the photo editor program, which is called GIMP, G-I-M-P. That program is a lot like Photoshop, and so this explains how to use that. There's a program called Scribus, which is desktop publishing. So there are some tutorials on Scribus. There is a video editor program called OpenShot. There are tutorials here on OpenShot. And there's a program called Bluefish, which helps with doing web page design. So there are many, many different programs on the system. Again, those are under the Start menu here in different categories. And All User Shared Tutorials has some different video tutorials and manuals to help you learn those different programs. Let's go to our next topic now. We're going to talk about creating and saving files on the Reneal system. When you log in or sign in with your own teacher account, you have your own documents file, and that will be where you can save your personal files. The Reneal system uses something called LibreOffice. Now you may be familiar with Microsoft Office. Well, LibreOffice is very similar. It has a word processor like Microsoft Word, and it's called LibreOffice Writer. It has a spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel, which is called LibreOffice Calc, and it has a program called Impress in LibreOffice that's like PowerPoint. Now, LibreOffice can run in many different operating systems. When you save a LibreOffice file, you have several different options for saving it. You can save it in the LibreOffice format. So, for example, if you have a document that you create, if you save it in LibreOffice format, it will have the final 3 letters of .odt. So if you see a file name .odt, you'll know it's a LibreOffice document. However, many times you might want to create a file in LibreOffice but also look at it in Microsoft Office. So LibreOffice gives you the option to save it not just as a .odt but also as a .doc or a .docx. And that's also true of presentations and spreadsheets that you make in LibreOffice. You can always choose to save them in the Microsoft Office format if you want to use them also in Microsoft. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to open up the word processor, and I'm going to make a file here. And when I go to save it, I'm going to come up to File and Save As. Now I'm going to do 2 things when I save this, 3 things when I save this file. Excuse me, 3 things. The first thing is I'm going to give it a file name, and that's up here at the top, and I'm going to call this test file. So that's the first thing I put in the file name. The second thing I'm going to do is to tell it where to put it. Now it's automatically going to guess that it wants me to put it in Documents. So it's already selected Documents. The third thing I need to do is tell it what format to save it in. And that's down here. And you'll see it's choosing .odt. But if I want to look at my test file here in Microsoft Office, I'm going to click this arrow. And when I do that, I see many different options for how to save this file. And I'm going to choose .docx. When I choose that, it will change this to .docx, and I click Save. So now it has saved that file in my documents. I can see that here. And when I double click on it, it will open it again. Now I could take this file, since it's docx, I could put it on my flash drive. I could put it into my laptop that has Microsoft Office and open it in Microsoft Word. So LibreOffice allows you to save those files in either LibreOffice format or .docx format. And again, to summarize, we choose Save As. We put in the file name, we tell it where we want to save it, and then we choose the format that we want. Now we're going to talk about using a flash drive. And let me show you how a flash drive works on the system. I have a flash drive here, and I'm going to plug it into the laptop I'm working on. And when I do that, I will see two new icons show up, local and a green triangle. If I double click with my left mouse button on local, I will see my USB flash drive. And these are the files that are on my flash drive. Now I can take files from my account on the Reneal system and copy them to the flash drive. So they're on my flash drive, them on another computer, or I can take files from my flash drive and copy them onto my account in the Reneal system. So that's a good way to transfer information back and forth. And whenever you're finished using your flash drive, you can close the windows and you can double click on the green triangle, Remove Safely. And when I do that, those icons will disappear and I can unplug my flash drive. I want to share with you about a special program that only teachers can use. It is called EPOPTES or EPOPs. It allows you to see the screen of each student. With EPOPTES, you can share your screen to all students. You can send a message to one or more students. You can lock the screens, or you can log out and shut down all of the computers. So it's a very powerful lab management tool for you. If you don't have a video projector in your school, this is one way that you can teach. You can share your screen with all students. So let me show you how EPOPTES works. EPOPTES is under the Start menu, and go to Internet and choose EPOPTES. This will open a new window where you will see all of the computers that have someone signed in. And so I see here a computer that is being used by student 1. You can see what is on the student's screen. I can use this slider bar to expand the size, so it is a way to see what your students are doing. You can send your student a message. To do that, you will select the student and then you will click this icon, the message icon, and then send. That has sent a message to the student. And you can see, if you look closely, that the message has shown up on the screen of the student. One of the most valuable things you can do with Epoptes, though, is to share your screen. So you will select the students that you want to share your screen with. I just have one here, but you can choose as many as you want. You can even use a Control-A to select all students. Then you will select this icon. When you select that icon, you will begin to share your screen with all of the students that you selected, and now everything that you do will show up on that student's screen. And when you're finished sharing your screen with the students, you can click this button to stop sharing. And you can see when I hover my mouse over an icon, it will tell me what the command is. So I will stop all broadcasts. And now the students have control of their computer again. So this is a very helpful way to monitor what is happening in your classroom, and also to be able to share a teaching with your students. So again, that's Epoptes, and it's under the Start menu, Internet, and then Epoptes. The next thing I want to talk about is something called Video Streamer. Now, you should not use Epoptes to share videos. They will not, Epoptes isn't fast enough to share videos, so we use a program called Video Streamer to share a video to all of their computers. And again, this is something that only a teacher can do. Only a teacher can run the Video Streamer program. The students, before you start the video, must start something called Video Viewer. And so they're going to come down to the Start menu. They're going to come up to Multimedia, and each student is going to choose Video Viewer. And when they do that, they will see something that says Waiting for Video. So when all the students are ready, then you, as the teacher, are going to choose Multimedia Video Streamer, and then select the movie you want to share. So again, you're going to come down to the Start menu, come to Multimedia, and choose Video Streamer. Then you'll have the chance to choose the file that you want. Once you've chosen the file, then you will click Start Video, and it will be shared to all of the students that have set up for Video Viewer. So that's the Video Streamer program, and a way to share a video with all of the computers in your classroom. Now, we've talked some about teacher accounts. There are also student accounts. Now, students do not get a personal account like a teacher does. The students use something called a numbered student account. And the number corresponds to the number of the computer. So, for example, computer number 1 in the lab, the student would sign in as student 1. At computer number 7, they would sign in as student 7, and so on. The password for all numbered student accounts is student. Now, the student accounts cannot access your teacher accounts or teachers shared. They can only access student accounts and all users shared. There is a special folder where student files are stored. When a student signs in with a numbered student account and the password, they will select their form, stream, and name using arrow keys. And when they first sign in, a folder will be automatically created for them to store their work. Now, students can also sign in as a guest, but their work will not be saved automatically in their own folder. Now, the students can only choose form, stream, and name when the computer teacher has made something called a student list. Once that student list is made, though, the students can sign in and they will have their own personal folder. But it's important to remember that you should not log into more than one computer at a time with the same username. So if one student signs in with student 1 and another student signs in also with student 1, it will sign out the other student. So only one computer at a time with the same username. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is logging out. It's always important when you're finished to log out so no one else can come up and access your files when you're done. And the way to log out is to come over to the Start menu and click it, and you'll see this green running person up here. And when I click that, that will log out my computer. I'm not going to do that right now, but that is how you log out, and it will ask you if you're sure. But always remember when you're finished to please log out. So that was a fast survey of the Reneal system. I encourage you to explore. There are many different things on the system that can help you and your students, both in learning how to use computers, but also learning in other subject areas. We thank you, and we hope you have many happy learnings with the Reneal computer system. Thank you.